Hello everyone, Ace here, and today let's talk about how Kamala Harris helped censor video games, until she and the state of California as a whole were stopped by the US Supreme Court. Specifically, today's video revolves around the landmark case of Brown versus the Entertainment Merchants Association from 2011, the court case that decided the fate of California Law AB 1179, a piece of legislation that was passed all the way back in 2005. Which legally enforced the ESRB rating system and required gamers to present their ID in order to buy games that they wanted to buy. For the record, it is of note that AB 1179 was itself inspired by a failed national level bill called the Family Entertainment Protection Act, which was introduced by Senator Hillary Clinton and co-sponsored by Senators Joe Lieberman, Tim Johnson, and Evan Bayh, all of which were Democrats. Unsurprisingly, AB 1179 was itself also created by Democrats, though to give condemnation where it is due, it was also ultimately signed into law and defended by Republican Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. But let's move on to the part that involves Kamala Harris, because a law like this is inevitably going to get challenged on the grounds of it being potentially unconstitutional. And so the person that would have to step up to defend this legislation was, of course, none other than the Attorney General of the state of California, namely Kamala Harris. Yes, you heard that correctly. It was quite literally Kamala Harris's job to defend what was later determined to be an utterly unconstitutional violation of free speech. In fact, in a lot of ways, AB 1179 is the most infamous piece of legislation in US history when it comes to the censorship of video games. And again, the person whose very job it was to defend this violation of basic human rights, this most infamous piece of legislation ever passed in American history when it comes to video games, that took going to the US Supreme Court itself to strike down, that person who defended this piece of legislation was Kamala Harris. Also keep in mind, it was part of her job to prosecute people for daring to violate this unconstitutional and unjust piece of legislation as well. Keep that little fact in mind if you happen to be voting in the US elections this year. But with all of that said, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.